All right, waiting. All right, there it is. All right, we are live. All right, Lions fans, three in a row. Our Detroit Lions march into New York and come away with a victory over the 7-2 New York Giants. 30, what was it? 31
31 to
18.
18.
31-18. That is three in a row, and that was a pretty decent Giants team that we beat there. Let's start with the overall takeaways. Take it away, son. What was your overall takeaways in this game?
Well, my main overall thing, I was not expecting the Lions to take away Saquon Barkley so much. I'm pretty
Mm-hmm.
sure last week we both agreed that I thought Saquon Barkley was going to eat, and I thought the Lions needed to pretty much limit everything else. Well, the Lions said, no, we're going to shut down Saquon Barkley, and we'll let them. Basically, they played man coverage the whole game until they had the lead. And they said basically they're going to have to beat us with the pass. And they
Right.
proved that they couldn't really do it because honestly, the Giants don't really have that many receivers. They're pretty much in the same situation that we are.
Agreed. Agreed.
I would say the difference was the Lions showed them we can beat you by the run. So I feel like that was the main difference.
Okay, yes, agreed. And I think that, and I would have to totally 100% agree with you on that. What I would say is that this is what it reminds me a lot of. It kind of reminds me of when you with everything that you just said. What it really reminds me of is that I go back to that old four NBA championship, NBA Finals, Pistons v Lakers. The Pistons were not supposed to win that game. The Lakers had Shaq, they had Kobe, they had Shaq, pretty much, still in his prime, but getting towards the end, and Kobe not even just kind of getting ready to go into his prime. And there was no way the Pistons were supposed to win that game. And basically, Larry Brown had the same game plan: was how do you stop these guys? And the plan was this: we can't stop Shaq. He's too big. He's too strong. So he's gonna eat. He's gonna get his, but we can shut Kobe down. We can throw bodies at him, and they're gonna have to beat us with some other guys. And that's exactly what the Lions did today. They shut Saquon. I mean, dude, he had 22 yards at the last week. He
Yeah.
had what 156 yards last week.
Yeah. Yeah. I was not expecting that.
No,
Yeah.
and they shut him down because in the fourth quarter, the Giants coach basically was like, "Nah, you're not even playing."
Yeah.
It's just not your day today. So I thought that the Lions did a great job shutting down that, like you said, they are like us in the same situation with receivers. But okay, looking at the highlights right here, Daniel Jones just ran that touchdown in. That was starting to be a problem in the second half. Daniel Jones running loose. And I remember I did text you during that time, and I said, man, they need to start spying this dude because they found some success. Daniel Jones dropping back, acting as if he's going to throw it, knowing that he's really going to do nothing but run it. So let's
Yeah.
go through the Lions on both sides of the ball. Let's with 31 points. Let's start with the defense. Right. I mean, I'm sorry. Let's start with the offense. I kind of got thrown off because I'm trying to uh I was trying to I saw a commercial come up, and I was trying my best to not
Yeah. Avoid
uh
the strict YouTube.
get in. I think you saw what I was trying to do. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Now we back. Yeah, I was like, let me go ahead and get that up out of here. So let's start with the offense. Let's start with the signal caller, Jared Goff. What did you take away from Jared Goff today? His performance.
Man, so honestly, for the past 3 weeks, I was facing the same week or like the same thing. The Lions have played like boring offense. I mean, Jared Goff has pretty much just been managing the game. I mean, what he had like 160 yards, I think, no touchdowns. So, but that's good enough for me. I think the Lions have just been playing boring football because they don't really have any playmakers on the field still. For some reason, they've been holding back Swift. I have a feeling it's because they're going to unleash him against the Bills, I think, because like it seems
Okay.
like Swift wants to play and he doesn't even seem that hurt to me anymore. So I don't know why they're not putting him in on more downs, but I'm guessing it's because they were resting him. And I hope that's the same for Josh Reynolds because I thought he was supposed to play today too.
Right.
But
Right.
honestly, I thought the offense looked good. I mean, they're not even like I don't know how to explain it. They're not even really doing anything special, and they're scoring all these points still. So I don't really, I can't really take anything away that's bad.
I would agree with you on that. I would say yes, and I agree with you on your assessment of Jared Goff. I think that he's doing a good job managing the team. Sometimes that's really what you need your quarterback to do. Listen, every quarterback can't be um, Dan Marino or Patrick Mahomes. or any other quarterback that you might think of that just takes over a game. Sometimes you just need a guy to manage the offense. Now let's talk about the running backs. They ran three running backs. Jamal Williams was eating today. Jackson, Justin Jackson got in there and did some good things, and even Swift got some action. What did you think about the three-headed attack that the Lions had today?
Man, this dude Jamal Williams, I don't know how many yards he had, but he's really starting to come on, to be honest. He's a really physical runner. This has to be one of his best years. I mean, since the Packers, I'm sure. Because I know the most yards he's averaging was like 3.4. I know he has to be over that now. But like I said, I wanted to see more of Swift, but honestly, I'm
Me
starting
too.
to think that's because they were resting him for the Bills. Because I mean, he has to. I don't think he's as injured as we think anymore. At least I hope not.
Right.
Even Justin Jackson, I thought he looked all right, but like I saw that he had holes that I thought he could have hit. So I don't know.
True. True. The thing with Jamal Williams is this is that the reason why they're using him kind of like now the Lions haven't had a short yardage back like this, not that I can remember in my years watching the Lions. But one of the things that I will say is that when Barry Sanders played, because you were telling me something about they said something about he's passing Barry Sanders. I'm assuming they meant single season touchdown record. I'm assuming that's what
Oh
they
no,
meant.
it was a weird. You know how? No,
Right.
it was like 2+ touchdown, like 2+ touchdowns, like a game,
Oh,
like,
okay.
and he had five and Barry had five. But like I said, Barry Sanders probably like Swift was probably breaking 50-yard touchdowns, as in Jamal Williams is breaking
Right.
red zone touchdowns. Stats are stats.
True.
We're seeing the game.
True. What the Lions used to do back in the day, because I was fortunate, blessed enough to see Barry Sanders' whole career. To be honest, the Lions used to take Barry Sanders out whenever it was something in goal. And they would
Yeah.
always bring in their quote power back. And some of the coaches used to say, well, because Barry Sanders was such a scat back, they didn't know if he would lose yard. Because Barry Sanders was good for losing 2 or 3 yards on second down because of his style, but then he would get 12 yards on third down. And he would make it back. They didn't want him it didn't make sense to me. They didn't want him doing that on at the goal line, but they used to take Barry out once they got pretty much inside like the 10-yard line. So it would make sense that he wouldn't have that many touchdowns. So they kind of do that with Swift. It seems like they bring in the hammer, Jamal Williams, to get those touchdowns. Now, what about the offensive line? What did you think about their play today?
Oh, I thought the offensive line looked pretty good for the most part, but I mean, in the future, if the Lions still have this weak offense, they're gonna have to play perfect against the Bills, so they can't shoot themselves in the foot. And they did. I'm pretty sure they cost themselves one touchdown with Jared. No, well, it didn't cost him a touchdown, but it cost him a drive. Jared Goff ran for like the longest run I've seen of. It was like a 20-yard run. I don't know
Oh
if you
yeah,
remember
I
that.
remember that play.
And it
Yes,
was a holding penalty, and that was to keep the drive alive. And they could have scored on that drive for who knows what. So
right.
it's just things like that. And against the Bills, you can't make that mistake because that game's going to be a shootout for sure.
Yeah, you can't make that mistake. I agree. And at the tight end position, okay, so let's ask. This is week 3 without Hawkinson. Are we missing Hawkinson? Do you think that Hawkinson could make a difference if we still had them, or are these 2, 3 tight ends they're running kind of making up for that production?
No, I think Hawkins can still make a difference.
Yeah. Okay. I'm in total
Yeah.
agreement with you. I've been thinking the same thing. Even though they got some decent draft picks for him, I've been thinking the same thing. I still see. I still don't think that these guys are right. Even Mitchell and the other guy's name slips my mind who plays tight end. I still don't think that they make up for Hawkinson. I still think that
Yeah.
you still need that guy in the middle of the field who can be dangerous and draw the defense's attention. Speaking of defense, let's talk about defense. Let's talk about that we're watching them on defense right now. Let's talk about this defensive line. What about Aiden Hutchinson? You know, what did you see? What do you think about the fact that he had a fumble recovery and an interception?
Yeah, we're going to have to start investigating him for. They do defensive rookie of the year, right?
They do.
Because we're going to have to look at that. I mean, it's probably him. It's Tariq Woolen, Aiden Hutchinson, and Mon Garner. That has to be the top three. I don't know who else it would be. Um,
Yes.
So man, no, he's been balling now. I mean, this dude, he's like even he can drop back. He just knows when to drop back in zone coverage. I don't know where he got this sense for it from because I never saw him do that at Michigan. But he just has a sense to drop back in zone coverage and get those easy picks sometimes. So uh I'm starting to get really impressed with him. He's starting to really come on. So
I'm gonna give Aaron Glenn a lot of credit. I was one of the people calling for his head after that Seattle game. I know Seattle is playing good. Seattle is a surprise, but Seattle should not have been putting 48 points up against anybody. But
yeah,
they did. But Aaron Glenn, hey, I'm gonna say it again. Since the bye week, even in that loss to the Cowboys, Aaron Glenn has been doing his thing, and I think that has a lot to do with Aaron Glenn. He is dropping Hutch back in coverage at times because what our team's thinking, he's a pass rusher, so he's going to rush the passer. And look at that, Saquon just shut down again. He's going to rush the passer every play. So unfortunately, so fortunately, we can drop him back in coverage. But I thought that they all Elam McNeil did a good job. Look at him right there in the middle
yeah,
doing work.
he was playing
He
a
did
good
a good
game.
job busting up the middle. I thought that the defensive line played pretty good. What about the linebackers today? Rodriguez, Anzalone, Barnes. What'd you think about those guys?
Uh, well, in run coverage they were fine. The line they got cooked in pass coverage.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Honestly, I didn't
which is
really
still an
notice
issue.
them, so that means they had to have got cooked. They were fine in run defense, but no, they were getting cooked in pass defense. Though
I
I mean,
agree.
Daniel Jones was having his way, and that's why I'm nervous at Bills game because they
I have
not
another
only
running
can Josh
quarterback.
Allen run the ball a lot faster than Daniel. Well, I mean, still, yeah, he's bigger than Daniel Jones. I'm pretty sure, and he can run a little faster,
He
and they have
is.
better receivers, so they're not going to be running the ball like the Giants are.
They are not. I would agree with that. What about the corners? Now Akuda went out. He got hit in the head, and I think that now if a guy gets hit in the head and the refs see it and he stands up and they know that's why he has to take that play out the game, I think they're making him just stay out the rest of the game. So I'm
Yeah,
hoping that, especially going up against the Bills, I'm hoping that Akuda is okay, that he's not in the concussion
yeah, he
protocol
he
and he
tweeted
can
he was
play.
good.
Oh, he
That's what I
already
was just
tweeted.
looking at
Okay.
when that ad showed up. Yeah.
Okay. Well, good. Okay, that's great. Good. Hopefully he can. Hopefully that's what it was. They took him on as a precaution because he's been really living up to it, playing good. I would say that our boy Amani, he was doing okay, but he did have a ridiculous holding penalty in the fourth quarter.
Man, I thought he was getting cooked. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, when Akuda went
I mean,
out, that was the weakness right there.
it seems like quarterbacks always do this thing to it only happens to the Lions receivers, I swear. They'll underthrow the ball and then the receiver will just catch it. Like, I don't know. I never see that happen to any other cornerbacks, but that always happens to the Lions corners. Like, that happened today. And Aaron Rodgers did it against him, too. I don't know.
No, that's pretty much true. I'm gonna have to agree. I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. And what about the safeties? Anything to take away from the safeties?
Oh, man. Kirby. Oh, like Kirby Joseph is like sneaky. Like, I don't think people realize he's sneaky good. It's like one of the best cornerbacks in the league. Like, he's up there in the PFF rankings. Just 2 weeks ago, he was top two, and I'm sure he's about to be at least top five again. Um, so we need to watch out for him too. I would say maybe not for defensive rookie of the year, but just for rookie safeties. I think he's just as good as any of them.
Okay, I would agree with you on that. Yeah, I would agree with you on that. Kirby Joseph is looking good. I'm really liking him. He looks like he is good enough to either sit Tracy Walker, who I like a lot, or Sean or Deshaun Elliott. He looks like he's good enough to sit one of those guys down. He's really
Yeah.
playing that well.
Well, yeah. See, that makes it hard.
And,
Wait,
and
so
what?
is it Deshaun Elliott and Kirby who's starting right now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, what about special teams? Our kicker, and our punter, Jack Fox. Oh, there he is, right there. I just said his name, and there he is, Jack Fox, out there. And our kicker, if I'm not mistaken, he did not miss a kick, right?
No, Bagley.
Yes.
I think they call him the Badger or something. They give him some nickname, but he's been right on for us.
Yes, because that wind was whistling. 17
Yeah.
miles an hour is enough to change. Is enough to change the course. And I thought that he did okay.
Yeah.
I thought he did okay. So let's talk about. So we talked about the game. We talked about how good the Lions defense played. We still see the teams are hitting that soft spot in the zone. I But I guess that's what's going to happen sometime in the zone. Receivers are in front of you, so just like right there, a receiver is going to catch the ball. It's just up to you to come up to make the tackle.
Yeah, I'll give them one day. They were hidden.
They were,
Uh,
I
but
would.
I mean, Oh, sorry.
No, I was gonna say I'll give it to them. They were hitting.
I mean, Aaron Glenn surprised us this week with this playing against Saquon Barkley. Maybe he has a plan for the Bills in a few days.
Yes, yes. You know, it's a short week, but sometimes those short weeks can be good because you can take the momentum from this game and take it on to Thursday. Good tackling right there by my man Barnes, and take it on to Thursday. Now, let's talk about what happens from here. The Bills are coming up on Thursday. How do you see that game playing out? I mean, we made our prediction on this game. How do we see this Bills game playing out?
Uh, Honestly, I think this game's going to depend a lot on the offense. I mean, we got to be real. Josh Allen's the Bills are probably going to score at least. I'm gonna say they're going to score at least 24 points.
Mhm.
So Jared Goff, he's gonna have to score some touchdowns. He's not gonna like be a game manager. They're basically gonna have to play how they played against the Eagles, to be honest,
I
or near
agree.
that level.
I
I mean,
agree.
because Josh Allen clearly is not as hurt as we thought. He's gonna be playing, and they're chilling in Ford Field right now. So I mean, they know the field now, so they're gonna be extra comfortable. So if the Lions want to win that game, I think the defense, I think they'll be able to hold up for the most part. I think it honestly would depend on the offense, just because the offense has been so banged up. But I think if Josh Reynolds and maybe if Chark can give us something, I didn't even recognize that Chark was out there. I mean, did you know he was out there?
You know what? To be honest, only on that one play when Jared
Yeah.
Goff threw it up to the left corner to Chark, because I think he was hoping that his 6'4", being 6'4", he could maybe jump up and come down. With other than that, I didn't even know he's playing today.
I mean, I do. I do think the Lions can win the game if Swift is going to have to be at 100% capacity, though. Like they're going to have to I don't they can't be what they did today. So I hope they were just resting him today.
I would agree. I think that would be. We know that the Bills are beatable. But I think what you said made a lot of sense. The Lions cannot settle for field goals. They have to be like today. They scored 31 points. 4 touchdowns and 1 field goal. They have to play that type of game. It cannot be a field goal fest. They have to get out early, I believe, jump on. Now, unlike the Giants, the Bills are a come from behind team. The Giants are not a come from behind team. That's why I felt confident when the Lions went up so big on the Bills. I mean, on the Giants. Because the Giants are not built to come from behind. They're built to have the lead and to grind the clock out. The Bills are built to come from behind. So the Lions can be up 24-6 going into halftime on the Bills, and the game will not be over. You
Right.
know, they would have to literally put their foot on their throat, which means that the Lions are going to have to continue to convert first downs. They're going to have to keep the Bills offense off the field. I think that's how they'll win. They have to keep Josh Allen and the offense off the field. I think that the defense can hold their own against the Bills, but I think it's going to really come down to the offense making it an ugly game. If the Lions are going to beat the Bills, it's going to have to be an ugly game. It's going to have to be, 27-23
I mean,
type of game, an
I mean,
ugly,
yeah.
slow game.
I mean, we can look at this right here. Josh Allen might be feeling that injury. I mean, he only threw the ball 27 times today for 197 yards. They
Okay.
actually ran quite a bit. So
Okay.
I mean, I guess, but who knows? We'll just have to see. That could be a day by day thing.
Could be. Could be. I can't see him getting healthy in 4 days, but you never know,
Yeah.
right? And I'm gonna say that they probably are gonna stay in Detroit. So so the Lions need to make them feel very uncomfortable when Thursday comes, because they're gonna be here even though we're on the same time zone, so it's not like it's really a big deal, or it's not like it's a different time zone, like, well, they need to get acclimated to the time where they already we're each on the same time
Yeah.
you know so what I would like to so what is your prediction? Do you see the Lions pulling away with this victory? Are you seeing a nice surprise on Thanksgiving, or do you think the Bills are gonna edge them out?
Uh, I want to say that the Lions can do it, but I think they'll lose a really tight one. I think the Lions might lose this game 30-27. I feel
Okay.
like I feel like the Lions will have the ball at the end of the game. I just don't think they're going to have enough offensive firepower to get it done. I do think it's going to be a really tight one, though. I think they'll be trading blows in the end.
Okay.
And sorry, what were we going to
Go
say?
ahead. Go ahead. And what?
Oh, I was going to say, even if they do lose this game, I kind of expected it, so I still think their slight playoff chances can be alive, depending on how they play this game out.
I'm gonna go with you in that prediction. I have the Lions probably coming up. Our boys probably coming up short this Thursday is bad, but of course I'm gonna be very happy if they can beat the Bills. I do believe they may come up a little bit short. I think that if they can make the game a close game, that will go a long way. And if they can come out with no injuries, if they can keep the game close and come away with no injuries, that would be a win. But it's something interesting. Greg Olson, who was on the broadcast, he said that if the Lions hangs on and win this game, that they would actually still be right there in the playoff hunt. Now, they each commentator said that they weren't picking the Lions to make the playoffs. They were just saying that the Lions would be right there in the hunt
Yeah,
if
I'm
they
gonna
could
be
win this
looking at the
game.
49ers game tomorrow. I mean, they're just behind the 49ers.
I agree. Yes. So we're at the point now that where we have to start rooting for other teams to lose, to be honest. It would be sweet. It would be nice if the Lions could make the playoffs. But what I think is going to happen more than anything is that they're going to come up just short, but they're going to give us just enough to show that next year is going to be the year. But the truth is this: the Lions are now 4-6. And I believe that there are, so that's eight. I'm sorry, that's seven. That is 7 games to go. So what I believe is that the Lions have enough left with these 7 games that they could make a run at it. I
Yeah,
mean, okay, they have the
I mean
Bills.
that's at
Let's
7 and
say
2.
that's a loss, and then they're off for 10 days, and then that will leave their last 6 games. So their last 6 games will be home against the Jaguars, which is winnable.
Yeah, I'm giving them the win.
Yeah, that's 5 wins. Then after that, they're home against the Vikings. Probably not, right?
Man,
It's
yeah.
winnable, but I don't know. Home, but let's look up they have left
My thing
after.
is they need to win one of those playoff type games.
I agree. I agree. So they have what, the Bills this week, 8 games to go. The Bills this week. Then we get to December, home against the Jaguars, home against the Vikings, at the Jets, at the Panthers. I think in that order. And then their last 2 games are home against the Bears, at the Packers.
I mean, they
So
could still drop the Vikings and the Bills and
mhm.
still
so
make it.
I agree. So out of those 7 games, I mean, they could win 4. 4 gets you at least 8 and 9. That probably won't get you in the playoffs, but it'll get you right there at the door of the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I believe even the Vikings, to be honest with you, I believe all of those games are winnable for the Lions. All of them.
Yeah, me too. Just for how the team plays, and they showed it today.
Because I mean they had the Vikings in week 3. They had them. You
Yeah,
know,
they should have won that game
right.
actually.
They had them. But I think that as each week goes by, Dan Campbell is proven to be a better coach every week. So we got to lay off his back a little bit. He's proven that he's growing as a coach and he's not just a motivational speaker. So
Yeah.
that's what I have on that. Well, what you have any more thoughts on this game that maybe we didn't get to?
No, I got nothing else. Let's get this win against the Bills this week.
Ooh, I know, right? Yeah, it feels good. 3 in a row. It's been a long, long time since we can smile and say the Lions actually won 3 games in a row.
Yeah, it's been a real long time.
All right. Well, if you don't have anything else, that's it for me. Everybody, if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so we can keep talking Lions football. Other than that, we out of here. Peace.
Peace.